In this video, I'm going to show you how to create SMS follow-up sequences in GoHighLevel, step by step, so your leads don't go cold and you don't manually have to chase people anymore. What's up guys, my name is Kyle. One of the biggest mistakes businesses make is assuming that one message is enough. Someone opts in, books a call, or asks for info, and then nothing happens. Not because they're not interested, but because life gets busy. SMS follow-up sequences solve that problem. They let you stay top of mind, build trust, and guide people to the next step automatically, without sounding spammy or robotic. By the end of this video, you'll know how SMS follow-up sequences work in GoHighLevel, where they should be used in your funnel, how to space messages correctly, and how to avoid common beginner mistakes. If you don't have GoHighLevel yet and want to follow along with me, there's a link in the description that gives you an extended 30-day free trial. Alright, let's jump in. Before we build anything, it's important to understand how SMS follow-ups actually work inside GoHighLevel. At a high level, a trigger starts the sequence. Delays control timing, SMS actions send the messages, and conditions prevent over messaging. This means SMS follow-ups aren't just blast campaigns. They're structured conversations that unfold over time based on what the lead does or doesn't do. Once you understand that structure, building sequences becomes very straightforward. With that context in mind, let's start building your first SMS follow-up sequence. Since follow-up sequences live inside workflows, that's where we'll start. In the left column, scroll down to automation, make sure that you are on workflows, and in the top right corner, we are going to create a new workflow and we are going to start from scratch. Before adding anything, it's important that we name our workflow. If we scroll to the top of our page, we will see new workflow with a number. We can simply click the edit button and give our workflow a name. I will name this SMS follow-up new lead and hit enter. Clear naming helps later when you have multiple sequences running. Once that's done, we're ready to define what triggers this follow-up. Next, we need to choose the right trigger. The trigger decides who enters your SMS sequence. So we are going to click add a new trigger and we're going to choose one of the most common options out there. We can either go with form submitted, tag added, or pipeline stage changed. A great place to start is with form submitted. So we can either type that in the search bar or scroll down until we find it. So as you can see that it is my second option. So I will click form submitted. I can then choose a workflow trigger. Okay, so I have entered my trigger, which is a form submitted. When someone fills out a contact form or lead magnet, this tells GoHighLevel when this action happens, start sending follow-up messages. If the trigger is wrong, the sequence won't run. So double check this step before moving on. Once the trigger is set, we can focus on what the lead hears first. Before sending multiple messages, it's important to get the first SMS right. The first message sets the tone. It should acknowledge their action, feel human, and let them know what's coming next. This isn't a sales pitch, it's a confirmation and connection. With this in mind, let's add your first SMS. Below our first trigger, click the plus sign, and we are going to add an action, which is send an SMS. So in the search bar, you can type in SMS and open up SMS. We can then name our action, so I will keep this as SMS. If we have a template, we can click and use our template, and if we do not have a template, then we can manually type in a message. So for this message, I will type in, hey, contact first name, thanks for reaching out, this is Kyle, just wanted to confirm I got your info. I'll follow up shortly with next steps. Once you have completed your message, make sure that you save your action in the bottom right corner. You want to keep your message short, friendly, and conversational. This message reassures the lead that their action worked and a real person is involved. Now that the initial contact is made, we'll space out the next messages properly. Instead of sending messages back to back, we'll add a delay. Click the plus icon under SMS, and we now need to add a wait action. So in the search bar, we will type wait and open up our wait action. We can then select a delay. We have minutes, hours, and days. So for this delay, I will set it to 1 day. Once you have set your delay, make sure you save your action in the bottom right corner. So far you can see I have a trigger followed by an SMS followed by a wait action. Delays are what make sequences feel natural instead of aggressive. They give the lead time to think and respond. Once the delay is set, we can add the follow-up message. After our delay, we're going to click the plus sign again to add another message action. So we are going to go to send SMS again, and this message should move the conversation forward. So we could say something like, for our follow-up message, we could type something like, just checking in. Did you have any questions about what you were looking for? Happy to help. This works because it's low pressure, it invites a reply, and it feels like a real conversation. Once you have completed writing your message, make sure you save your action in the bottom right corner. At this point, some leads will reply, and that's where conditions become important. Before sending more messages, we need to check if the lead already responded. This is where we add an if-else condition. If contact replied, we end the workflow. If the contact did not reply, we continue. To add this condition, we will click the plus sign below SMS, and then we will add an if-else condition, and then save our action. With the if-else condition opened, we then can choose a number of different options. So we can select workflow trigger, is or is not, and save our action. So with our condition created, if the person replied, we can end it. If they have not done that, then we can create a follow-up message by clicking the plus sign, adding an SMS, and then typing a follow-up request. Save your action, and we can see it in our workflow. This prevents you sending follow-ups to someone who has already replied. This is the moment where your automation stops feeling basic and starts feeling smart. Once conditions are in place, we can add a final follow-up. So under the no reply path, we can add one last SMS, which we have already created, but we need to add a wait because we don't want to bombard the person. So we can add a wait of 2 days and save the action. So if the person does not reply, there will be a wait of 2 days, then the automation will send out a follow-up message. This creates a clean, close to the sequence without pressure. If they reply, the workflow stops. If they don't, the sequence ends politely. Now let's make sure everything works before we go live. Before publishing, always test from a real user's perspective. Add yourself as a test contact, trigger the workflow manually, or submit the form. Watch message timing, personalization fields, and condition behavior. Most SMS issues come from logic mistakes, not technical problems. Testing catches those quickly. Once everything looks good, you're ready to publish. And to publish your workflow, go to the top right corner and toggle it from draft to publish. From now on, every new lead gets consistent follow-ups, conversations feel natural, and you spend less time chasing people. You can monitor replies directly inside the Conversations tab and adjust messaging over time. Let's look at a few quick pitfalls to watch out for so your SMS campaigns stay effective and well received. Sending too many messages. Bombarding your contacts can quickly lead to opt-outs and complaints. It's better to send fewer, targeted messages that actually provide value than overwhelm your audience. No delays between SMS. If messages go out back to back, it feels spammy and can annoy recipients. Adding thoughtful delays gives people time to read, respond, and engage naturally with your campaign. Forgetting reply-based conditions. Not setting rules based on replies can cause irrelevant follow-ups. For example, if someone responds, "No thanks," continuing the same sequence can harm your brand and frustrate contacts. Always account for replies to keep your flows smart and personalized. Trying to sell too early. Jumping straight into sales pitch often turns people off. Start with value, education, or helpful guidance first, then gradually introduce offers once trust is established. Bottom line, pacing, personalization, and respect for your audience makes SMS campaigns far more effective. Simple, human follow-up sequences perform best. If you followed along, you just built a complete SMS follow-up sequence in GoHighLevel, and that's a huge step towards automation that actually works. SMS follow-ups help you stay consistent, responsive, and professional without being glued to your phone all day. If you want to try this yourself, you can use the link in the description for an extended 30-day free trial. Just so you know, these are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. Using these links helps us continue creating free GoHighLevel step-by-step tutorials. If this video helped, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.